everything in me, but I am also a wife, a woman, a human being with emotions and desires. I miss my husband. I miss the man who used to look at me like I was the love of his life. Now I feel like a roommate, or worse, a nanny who exists only to support this perfect father-daughter world. Is it wrong to want my own husband's love? Am I selfish for needing attention too? How do I make him see that I matter before this resentment swallows me whole? And she goes on to say, please, OSYB, help me make sense of this. A lonely wife in a part of Nigeria. Now, this is something that I've had to share with the guest that I have today. Now, just to put this in perspective, because we've had this conversation beforehand, we talked off the air. She was at Love and Lamba last week, Friday. She gave us quite a session where she was talking to us. Those of us that are married, we felt, okay, we need to do certain things. And we went to try some of those things at home. I need to say it was a very beautiful thing to do. Now, let me tell you about my guest today. Her name is ETHEL FADOJU. She's a certified family life coach on a mission to ease family relationships. She is a children and teenagers mentor, a proficient teacher, social worker and an entrepreneur, and a prolific writer of manuals of instruction, devotional texts, and books. She is the writer of the best-selling book, I Choose to Enjoy My Marriage. So if you want to read that book, you want to ask questions and everything afterwards, of course, she's here. So the title of the book, which is a best-selling book, is I Choose to Enjoy My Marriage, which has been a blessing to many homes. She is the president of Family Repairs Ministries, which was established in 2016 to bring hope, healing, and guidance to families. She is the convener of Turning Point, a weekly online teaching on marriage and family matters, which has been a blessing to thousands of families around the globe, with many testimonies to show. ETHEL FADOJU is a master's degree holder in managerial psychology, currently pursuing her PhD in guidance and counseling. She is married. She's happily married. I need to put that. She's happily married to Mr. Adeola FADOJU, and they are blessed with two adorable daughters. Blessing and joy. It's good to have you on the show today. Thank you for making our time.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Okay, so of course I needed to put that effect of applause in the background so you could know that everybody is applauding, and of course just looking to talk about this. So your body of work shows that you have the mettle and you've been doing this for years. It's not a hearsay. It's not, oh, I'm thinking about this, I have to come and razzmatazz. This is experience about to speak. So if you're listening in Lagos, you've got questions, you know the numbers 0802 502 7711. You can call that number. If you want to send a text message, maybe you're not comfortable speaking about what you are going through, you can send a WhatsApp message to 0705 6900 927. And of course, if you would like to, ETHEL FADOJU will be sharing her phone numbers and Instagram and social media handles through which you can connect with her before the end of the program. But then let's get right to it. This is a cry for help. This woman is saying, I feel invincible. It's not another woman. It's her own daughter who has taken all the love out of her relationship. Is she asking too much, first of all?
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. I will say she's not wrong.
Okay.
And I want to start by saying, whoever it is that wrote that, you have a listening here, listening to you,
yeah,
and that is ready to help you out.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you that there is no situation, no problem that does not have solution.
Okay.
So you can be sure that definitely there is a way out of this. Mm-hmm. Looking at that message that was sent, I see that there are so many things playing on the tone.
Yeah.
You know, so many things could be responsible for it. Mm-hmm. And one of the things she said was that each time she talks about it,
he brushes it aside.
The husband just brushes it aside.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to tell her that probably our approach while telling him about it needs to be checked and corrected. Okay, so, and probably she might have used harsh words in presenting the matter to him.
Okay.
She probably had not chosen the right timing in presenting the matter to him. And before you know it, it's beginning to look like, oh, what's happening here? When you get married, you need to have an understanding that I'm coming into a relationship that hopefully should give birth to children.
Yeah.
And so you need to be prepared to have the love you have for your husband, and as well also show love to your children.
Children, yes.
So she needs to look at how did she present the matter, and what time did she present the matter. Is it with a harsh tone? Is it with kind words? Is it with a soft tone? And what time? And how did she put it? Is it with pointing,
accusing fingers
to the other? You remember that when you point accusing finger to another, what happens? Two things happen. The three other fingers are pointing at you.
Yeah.
And then the other thumb, your thumb, is looking up and saying, God, you're a witness. So it means that most of the time, 75% of our problem is actually caused by us. And not just the other party. Okay. And having said that, she has to also look at the background of the husband.
Okay.
He probably grew up in an environment where his parents showed him so much love, and he wanted to express the same love to his children, or to his child rather.
Okay.
So she needs to have that understanding. Okay. And number 3, maybe it's only the father or the husband rather that creates time for the child. Maybe it's only the father who takes the child to the school, buys ice cream, children like ice cream, buys everything the child needs, for the child. So we need to find out, she has to do what I call check and adjustment.
Check and adjustment.
Okay, and I want to use myself as example.
Okay.
I have daughters, adorable daughters.
Yeah.
Okay.
You stated that, of course. We've stated that.
Very adorable daughters.
Yeah.
Now, it got to a time, my marriage will be 15 years this year.
Wow.
And I began to see that it's like these children seem to be tending more towards my husband. My husband is the quiet type, does not really, talk as much.
Yeah.
So I began to check some things. Oh, they need shawarma, they will go and meet daddy. Oh, they need this, they will go and meet daddy. So I had to adjust and say, it's like something is happening here.
Maybe you're not as accessible as you should be.
Maybe I'm not as accessible as I should be. So I began to create time for the children.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I resigned from my place of work.
Wow.
Okay. I have more time for my children, and I have time to do what I love doing, which is talking to families, talking to singles and the married, trying to help them find ease. Look, love is a beautiful thing.
Definitely is.
And it makes life a beautiful place to live without you being in a hurry to live. So the first live is L-I-V-E.
Yeah, L-I-V-E.
Love is a beautiful thing that makes life a beautiful place for you to L-I-V-E, live.
Yes, to live in.
Without you being in a hurry
to live. That is L-E-A-V-E. Wow.
So when I began to make those adjustments, I saw the change. My children who were complaining before, Mommy, you don't have time for us. I worked in an investment bank for about 13 years.
Wow.
So the children that were complaining, Mommy, you don't have time for us. Mommy, now they have me. And I'm still able to take care of other things. I'm still able to play my role.
Yeah.
I'm still able to bring something to the table. So she needs to do what I call check and adjustment.
Okay, so thank you very much for leading with the checks and the adjustments. The fact that sometimes you mentioned two very cogent things, that I also maybe touched a bit yesterday. I talked about the tone, pointing fingers, saying you've done this, and the fact that he doesn't seem to see the importance. You've talked about the background. You've talked about where he might be coming from, where his parents gave him love, or maybe they didn't even give him love and he just decided, I want to do more for my children. And which is not a bad thing. She herself said it's a beautiful thing to see that the father loves the daughter. But then we're coming to from a place now that she isn't getting the love at all. And it's starting to feel as if, okay, am I doing something wrong? And I guess a lot of our confusion comes from there. Maybe we have highlighted one or two of the problems. Maybe the tone of approach to the issue is an issue. Maybe she needs to change the way she approached the matter with her husband. But then, what is the best way to address a person who probably doesn't seem to see that there's an issue in what he is doing, in his actions or inactions? How do you approach it and get the right results without ruffling the feathers and creating more issues? How should she go about that?
Okay, I'm also going to give you one more example about myself, my own relationship.
Okay.
Sometime my husband did something that was wrong. Okay. And what I did was not to point accusing finger at him, but rather I waited for a good time when we were in bed together.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, honey, do you know we did something wrong today? I used we. Do you know we did something wrong today? That got him thinking. He began to think, we.
How?
How? Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon? Is it where? What did he did? Meanwhile, I didn't say you did. I said we.
We did.
Because when we come into marriage, we have become one.
Yeah.
That's why it's only a mad person that would beat his wife. Because beating your wife is like beating yourself. Or vice versa. Some women beat their husbands too.
Yeah.
Forgetting the fact that you are one. So the kind of approach you need is you can use the approach that looks as if you are also involved.
Yeah.
As though you also did something that was wrong.
Yeah.
You are not pushing the blame to him alone. Okay? And that will make him to begin to see reasons with you. That, oh, really? Okay. So let's begin to adjust. Let's begin to make this thing look better. So that's what I think she can do to help him see reasons with her. Another thing she can do for her to get attention, because I think what she's looking for now is attention.
Yeah.
Before I speak further, I want to quickly say that love, like I said the other day, is not just a feeling.
No, it's not.
Feelings can fade away.
Yeah.
Love is not crushes. Crushes can be crushed into powder. Love is not just an emotion. Emotion can gain motion and fly away.
Wow.
So what is love? Love is someone.
Yeah.
Why did I say good and right? If I have a 10-year-old son, and because I love him, I like him, I won't just give him my car key and say, go drive that car.
Nah.
It may be a good thing for...
Even if he wants it.
Even if he wants it. It may be a good thing for the boy to be given a car. But then it will be wrong for him to be the one to drive the car.
True.
So she has to look back at herself, that, wait a minute, what I'm portraying here, is it true love? Because the true love is never jealous. True love does not envy. And true love does not think evil.
Yeah.
So, and it's tending towards her thinking evil, like, oh, it's like, what's going on here? Do you understand?
It's becoming a lot of resentment from what she said.
Yes, it's becoming a lot of resentment, which shouldn't be. Rather, she should look for the gaps that has been created before and begin to feel it.
Okay.
Begin to be part of the life of this child. Begin to be present. Begin to be available. I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
Are you truly available for this girl? Are you there for her? I mean, we're talking about a 4-year-old child. She's rather too young. She's too young for you to begin to think, oh, something is happening. Except if you're thinking the father is a pedophilia
No,
or something.
I don't think that's something that she put in there.
Yeah, I don't think so too, because I read it through.
Yeah.
So she has to begin to fill in the gaps that has been created before. Okay.
Yeah.
And another thing again, you cannot give what you don't have. How much does she admire her? Let me put it that way.
Herself.
Herself.
Self-love.
Self-love. How do you appreciate yourself? You cannot give what you don't have. So the more she's able to see herself like, look, I'm going to be a good mother to this girl and a good wife to this man. I'm going to balance it. I believe we're still going to talk about balance.
Balancing, yeah.
In balancing love.
Definitely. Now, time is fast spent, but then, and we talked about balance because we wanted to balance love, because this is something that, of course, I think in growing up as well, let me maybe touch on this a bit. I think most of us can relate to the fact that growing up, we've had parents who we can tell that they had favorites. Favorite child, or something, or someone that they liked more than they liked the others. And this was something that we had to talk about for a little bit. But then we'll go on a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll get to the conversations and more. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
One Radio, Super 92.7 FM.
One family. I got something to tell you. One radio. 92.7 Super FM.
Your one family, one radio.
The only child they have at the moment, and really she says she feels neglected and everything. And Ethel FADOJU has been here giving us examples, talking about the fact that there's always a place where you need to create that balance and the understanding first yourself, loving yourself the right way, putting so much into yourself to create that understanding. But then I want us to talk about, generally parents have favorites. Kids, they have kids that they love so much that everybody knows. We had those kinds in my family as well. My father has like a number of kids, and we could tell that, oh, these were his favorites. But then if talking to my mom, sometimes she would say, nah, that's not true. Your father loves you all equally. But I think there was someone who always tried to create the narrative, to correct the narrative. And that's sort of what you've tried to talk about so far. But then how can we even balance it where we see that, okay, I have 4 kids, I have 3 kids, I have 1 daughter and 3 sons. Or I have two daughters and 1 son. Balancing this thing where we're not saying, oh, we love one child more than we love the others, or we love our children more than we love our spouse. Because someone asked me that question today when I said I was discussing this with ETHEL FADOJU. The person said, who do you love more, your daughter or your wife? And I said, I love my wife more. And he laughed. He said, most people don't know that. But then I want us to talk about this and probably create a better perspective for people who are listening. So let's talk about balance.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, I want to use the car analogy to illustrate what balance is all about.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to put a car on the road and one of your tires is deflated,
Yeah.
what's going to happen?
Of course, it would derail you, or you would have to park and change it.
There's going to be stress.
Yeah.
There's going to be strain. You won't be able to have a smooth ride, whichever way. You will just be going slowly, looking for where you're going to pump it.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the same vein, bringing it to marriage now.
Yeah.
Marriage, don't forget, is a journey.
Yeah.
It's not a destination.
Definitely.
So in that journey, you need to balance up your love for your spouse and love for your children. If one is, overly more than the other, then you see there won't be an equilibrium.
Nah.
There won't be stability. And once that happens, what happens? You begin to see rift, you begin to see strain, and so many things comes with that.
Yeah.
Emotional instability and what have you.
Yeah.
So how do we now create this balance? You need to create time.
Okay.
Create time for your spouse.
Okay.
Some people think that dating is just before courtship
Yeah.
and honeymoon and on, and after that, that's the end.
I don't marry you, you don't the house
I
now.
don't marry you, don't the house. And the women too, some women are not helping matters. You see some women still tying wrapper across, above their,
They're just across their chest and everything.
Their chest and what have you. By the time the man comes home, you see, as a woman, keep yourself attractive.
Yeah.
At all times. At all times. So let every parent who is listening to me now create time
Yeah.
for your spouse. And then create time for your children. Okay? And then create family time.
So there's three. Time
Yes.
for your spouse,
For your spouse,
time for your children, and then time together
together
as a family.
as a family. And these things are not expensive. Some people think, I would have to spend so much. I don't
Yeah.
have the time. I don't have the money. No. Look, you can all work together. Just have a stroll,
Yeah.
enjoying nature, enjoy fresh breeze.
Yes.
And as you're going, maybe you have 2 children. You are talking to one. Your wife is talking to the other. And then you change again. You interchange again. Consciously. Intentionally, deliberately so. Then your wife now begins to talk to the other child, and then you speak with the other child, and before you know it, you and your wife begin to talk again, and the 2 children begin to interact. So by so doing, what are you doing? You are creating time for everybody. You can even do it such that every day, once we come back, daddy is back, mommy is back, everybody is back. We're going to sit down together. We're going to talk together. Blessing, how's your day? What happened at school today? You call Joy. How was your day? What happened at school today? And then, daddy, what happened? Mommy,
How was work today?
There is this rapport.
Yeah.
Create an atmosphere where there's love, where there's harmony. You know what happens with your tires?
Yeah.
What happens when you make
it's
sure
balanced.
that it's balanced? What
Yeah.
happens?
Of course, you can drive smoothly. You don't have any concerns when you're on the road and whatsoever.
It speaks about harmony too.
Yeah.
Everything is harmonizing together.
Wow. Thank you so much. Of course, the phone lines are buzzing right now. Maybe we can take just one phone call. And of course, after we take that phone call, we would be wrapping things up today. We are live on YouTube as well, and you can watch this again. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ibrahim Madaranijo.
Ibrahim, okay, please, you have about 1 minute to do this real quick. Hello. Okay, Ibrahim, you would have to call us back or send a WhatsApp message to 0705-6900-927. Thank you so much for coming in today to have this conversation with us. Of course, time
Thank you.
is not our friend on this show, but then, of course, we can do this again, maybe tomorrow, have another interesting conversation and balance things out even more. But I like the fact that you've touched on approach. You've touched on responsibility to yourself first as a spouse, responsibility to yourself as, a couple, and responsibility to your children. And this is something that I think if we get right, we can have better family lives and see less and less of these struggles that we have in marriages. But then before I let you go, I want people want to reach you on Instagram, they want to reach you on Facebook, they want to reach you on social media. Are you comfortable giving that out so people can reach out to you?
Oh, sure.
Please do that.
All right. So you can reach me via WhatsApp on 003 68 49605. I take that again. WhatsApp number 0803 68 49605. And my social media handles, you can reach me at ETHEL FADOJU on Facebook, ETHEL FADOJU on Instagram.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming in today. Of course, we'll be picking this up tomorrow again and probably even wrap things up for the week. But I really do appreciate you for making the trip here. Okay, so